Welcome into I Said What I Said. I'm Brad Wakai. That's Tyson Gentry. This is our last regional preview episode here, Tyson. We did the South, we did the East, we did the Midwest, and now we're closing out here with the West. Florida Gators are number one seed. Of course, Tyson, they are the popular pick after winning the SEC. Everybody's on the Gators now.
I'm a little bit bummed out because I wanted Florida at a good price. I wanted them on the 2 line somewhere. I wanted them where St. John's is, and then I was going to say they're going to kill whoever the 1 seed is in this conference. And now, not only did they get the 1 seed after dominating the SEC tournament, but then they open up at plus 400 or plus 420 on the betting line. They're down to plus 315 right now. People are loving Florida, and for good reason. They're the deepest team in the country.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's on them. Best team, deepest, yada, yada. So what we're going to do, if this is your first time joining us, this is how we've been doing it. We're going to go through each game, talk about our thoughts. Then we're going to get into some early second-round thoughts as we see it with the bracket filling out. Then we'll give you our regional winner at the end and then talk about the most likely region Cinderella. So let's dive in here, Tyson. Let's start talking about it. Florida, Norfolk State. I don't think there's much conversation needed in this one.
No, thanks for playing. Dude, we'll get into it later, but Florida's got 3 guards that I don't think you can do anything with. They score 85 points a game. They have excellent defense. This team is really good.
This is an interesting one here. UConn and Oklahoma. I mean, this is a team in Oklahoma that
they can't lose this game.
UConn can't, and I have UConn advancing, Tyson. But this will be something to note because UConn offensively good, 14th offensive rating, 94th in defensive rating. As far as how can Oklahoma beat them, Tyson? Because UConn 35th in KenPom rating, Oklahoma 38th. Oklahoma's offense 21st, defense 70th. This could be a high-scoring affair here.
Yeah, and I think it's a little different to have a low-ranked defense playing in the Big East than it is having a low-ranked defense playing in the SEC. We're going to find out.
Memphis, Colorado State. I got to tell you, I mean, Tyrese Hunter being out, that's a huge loss. Colorado State is favored over Memphis. And I think rightly so. They're playing their best basketball right now. Memphis, I think that the Hunter thing is a huge deal. So I'm taking the Rams.
I like Memphis here. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. I think Memphis was good out of conference. We can talk about the in-conference stuff and, winning a conference tournament, all of that. But they had really good performances against other really good teams this season. I think that they're the popular, the trendy upset pick. How many times has the 12 seed that's supposed to beat the 5 actually ended up winning the basketball game?
Yeah, that's a good point. Tyson, I will say what's interesting here, this is from KenPom, Colorado State 42nd, Memphis 51st, offensive rating for Colorado State 43rd, defensive rating 49th.
What happens to Penny if they get smoked again?
Well, I think
he's there for life, legacy. It feels like. But
I know, but man, you got to have a conversation.
It can't keep happening.
I agree. So Tyson's avoiding the public upset. I'm with it. I like Colorado State here. Let's keep on rolling. I think this is a popular game that people have circled, Maryland and Grand Canyon. We talked about this when it first came out. This Maryland team is really athletic and big. Grand Canyon, not so much. Last year, I thought their team was better. But so now they're a little bit more of a name brand. I think Maryland rolls here.
Dude, I think so too. I love this Maryland team. The problem is they only have 5 guys. I don't think that they're set up for a deep tournament run. They have the guys they have, and they start the game, and they have to finish the game for Maryland to keep winning. But I'm a Queen fan. I think that Maryland has the talent to play with anybody.
Here's another popular one here, Tyson. Missouri and Drake, the 6 versus the 11. Missouri is limping into this. Now, a lot of people take that sometimes too far. Other people, if you're hot, like Florida is right now, we're taking Florida and they're the best team. And if you're limping in this tournament, you suck. But we got to flatten everything out here. With that being said, I'm taking Drake to win this one. I mean, offensively, I thought they started off much better than they've shown. 76 in offensive rating, 46 in defensive rating. But Tyson, I do think they're going to have not necessarily an advantage, but they're going to be able to score on this Missouri defense at 73rd in defensive rating. It's just, can they keep Missouri from scoring, who has a really good offense, 6th in offensive rating, also 15th in KenPom, which eclipses Drake by a good margin.
Yeah, I think Drake wins this game too, and I'm looking at it from how do you beat a high-scoring team? Limit possessions and vacuum up every rebound on both sides, and that's what Drake does better than anybody in the tournament. You're not going to gain extra possessions against this team, and you can't rebound. What I will say is I'm a little bit surprised that some of these models are spitting out Drake's going to win this game. Drake's going to win this game. Missouri is like impossible to prepare for. Missouri has giant slayer juice. Like there's always that 1 6 seed, 7 seed, 8 seed where it's like you don't want to see these guys. I think Missouri is that team. They just got a really tough draw.
Texas Tech. Now, this is an interesting one, Tyson, because Darian Williams and Chance McMillian, they were out for the Big 12 tournament. Supposed to both be back. Now, we're recording this on Tuesday. Something could happen, but I think they're both going to be back. That is huge. UC Wilmington's a program that's been in March Madness a lot. I don't think they have firepower to keep up in this one.
No, I don't think so. I mean, tortillas go in, wins come out. Give me Texas Tech.
Closing it out with the two on the bottom side of the bracket.
Of these 4 teams, is this the most electric coaching, quartet that you can imagine?
I think so. I mean, you got Bill Self versus Calipari. That's awesome. It's a Arkansas team and a Kansas team who've underperformed. And then, kind of jumping ahead, St. John's. I mean, anytime you got Patino, it's sick. And Omaha's coach is pretty cool too. I mean, he's got a great story. Second or third year taking over his alma mater, this is like his first coaching job, and he's in his 50s. Like it's great. His head coaching job, I should say, in his 50s. So, I think this is a great little trio of coaches with Omaha in there as well.
Yeah, but on this game in particular, this is a Hunter Dickinson special. This is where I'm going to go out and I'm going to get 30 points and 15 rebounds. You don't have anybody big enough to stop me. We all buy into Kansas, and then they have to come see an actual bully the round afterwards. But we don't have to talk about that right now. I think that Kansas wins this game. I think Arkansas is super athletic. And that has posed challenges for Kansas when they've played super athletic teams so far this season, but they just don't have a guy that can slow down the big man.
No, they don't. Yeah, Kansas 21st in KenPom, Arkansas 40th. Arkansas just struggles on offense, man. They're 73rd offensive rating. Calipari's defense has actually been better recently, which is kind of surprising. It's like an inverse. He doesn't draw plays anymore. Like we talk about, just roll the ball out there. It's crazy. But so I think Kansas is going to be able to score on this team, though, with Dickinson, with the experience, good guard play. AJ Storr looked like he found a little something in the Big 12 tournament. Now, is that just for a couple games? Do you take the time off? And then we'll see what happens. But, yeah, I got Kansas as well. And we both have St. John's over Omaha, I presume.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the St. John's team, man. I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for Patino, which is never a place I thought I'd be in my life.
Yeah, man. All right, let's go to some early second-round thoughts here, Tyson. We're pretty similar across the board. What do you think about this Florida-UConn matchup? Because I think everybody's going to be circling that one. Oh, it's UConn. Can they get past Florida? I'm curious to know how many people actually have that upset, because now Florida is the new public darling. Is there any chance that Florida can get challenged there by UConn?
I mean, there's always a chance, especially if Oklahoma beats UConn, then I think Florida probably breezes their way through to the Sweet 16. UConn can score and, again, battle-tested and all of that good stuff. But, there's just – what are you going to do with these guards? And that's the question for everybody in the field, not just in this region.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Florida, too much firepower. UConn's defense not good enough. And if you have a bad defense, Florida's going to rip you apart. I mean, good Lord. That is, yeah. Kind of going through here, Tyson. It's a little mundane for me. There's not a ton of great matchups I'm seeing. I mean, Maryland, Colorado State, it should be fine. It's probably going to be physical. Drake, Texas Tech. I got Texas Tech getting past them. I got Maryland getting past Colorado State, and I got St. John's getting past Kansas. I think it's all pretty straightforward, at least in my mind.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
So let's get into the region winner then. You love the St. John's team, but are you picking them to beat Florida? You got anybody else coming out of this bracket?
No, I got Florida to win this region. I got Florida to win the tournament. That's the way I'm feeling right now as we sit here. I think this Florida team is awesome. I watching them over, during the season, it was like, oh, they're right there. And then they go play Tennessee and score 30 points. And it's like, well, season's over. It's not going to work out. And then they come right back. And the defense is they fell 2 spots, I think, in net rating for defense because they gave up some points in the SEC tournament where everybody scores 140. But when you average 87 and your defense is this good, and it's the depth, man, there's just nobody on the side. St. John's is awesome. But if they have to go second unit for second unit, which is how some of these, Elite Eight, Final Four matchups go, I don't think they can handle it. Yeah,
I actually have Florida. I have Florida coming at us as well. So I have 4 1 seeds. So go check out our preview if you want to hear kind of how we get there. It's happened. What has happened once in the 2000s or something, Tyson? Or what was it? That was
the Kevin Love UCLA year, I think.
Something like that. Yeah, that sounds right. People were saying that. the gap between these four and the rest, and we know things happen, but it's hilarious. We look at the percentage chance of winning. I mean, it's just like these four and then just the creators. Yep. So I think you're kind of safe if you pick the 4 seeds. But I have Texas Tech facing Auburn, facing Florida in the Elite Eight. The St. John's team is a fun story, Tyson. They are going to run into some issues if they can't score. They go to Providence, that's fun. But Tyson, they got to go to San Francisco in the West Regional. Then you got to get on the plane. It's a different gym. I think that can pose them some problems. So the Johnnies, a lot of people love the Johnnies, and it's a New York angle. I think Texas Tech can go athlete for athlete with them. And I got them beating St. John's. So we both got Florida coming out of here, though. What about most likely Cinderella before we close out here?
I think it's got to be Drake from this region. I think, I don't know how many March Madness tournaments I have to watch to just, talk myself into, okay, the team that limits possessions and rebounds is going to pose a problem for anybody, whether KenPom says they will or not. And this Drake team, what are they, 30-3, 30-4, yep. Something like that? They're excellent.
I think for me, it's Colorado State. So you beat Memphis, let's say, without one of their players.
You think they get by Maryland?
I think it can get mucky enough where it's going to be physical. You got one guy, then Nakeem Clifford, and you just go out and win a game. Then you get past Maryland, you're facing Florida. I think that's where they can get their doors blown off. But, Tyson, we've seen, okay, it's a new thing for Florida, right? I mean, it'd be a new thing for Colorado State, but weird things have happened. And so Florida would then be in San Francisco. They got to go from Gainesville.
A lot of extra pressure for Florida that maybe they weren't expecting a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so I think that's an interesting angle here. So that'd be my most likely. I don't see a ton. I'm not seeing a ton of Cinderellas. And of course, when they did our live reaction, I'm like, oh, this team's going to win. And then I sit down and dive into it. I'm like, I don't know if they're actually going to win. So that's how we sit here.
We both have all the ones in the Final Four. I have Florida winning this tournament, Brad. I know you have Duke.
Yeah, I have Duke. Yep.
Gotcha. So who's your national championship game?
Florida versus Duke.
Me too. Okay, so we're lockstep all the way until it's time to cut down the nets.
There we go. All right, so this was fun, Tyson. I think this is different than we've done it in the past. We'll see what you guys think. Let us know in the comments. We're going to have our gambling episode coming out later as we turn our attention to who's going to win this. Should we take some points? Should we take some overs? Get you primed and ready for the first weekend of March Madness, and we'll come back to you after the craziness of the first weekend. So we'll talk to you on the gambling episode, guys. Till then, peace.